Phantasm, the movie franchise home to the Tall Man, the Lord of the Dead, or simply Death. As per his name, the Tall Man is a tall, thin man, white-haired, and always impeccably dressed in a tuxedo. As the Tall Man, the myth, the being of evil, information pertaining to him is slim to non-existent. However, what we do know is that once upon a time, he was in fact a kind-hearted soul, named Dr. Jebediah Morningside. A mortal, a human, an ordinary mortician who served as a medic for the Union Army during the American Civil War, until he began experimenting with interdimensional travel, studying the connection between the world of the living and the realm of the dead. It was the search for immortality that led him down this path, learning the mysteries in harnessing life and death. He would perfect a machine that allowed him to travel between the worlds. He stepped through the gateway, and upon his return, he was no longer the kind-hearted soul, Jebediah. He became a cold and evil being that would become known by Mike Pearson and his friend Reggie simply as the Tall Man. It can only be speculated that while in a different dimension, Jebediah's body was possessed by another intelligence, or that his physical likeness had been assimilated and copied by an otherworldly, evil entity, while simultaneously killing off Jebediah. It might also be that the experience of crossing over from the world of the living to the dead changed Jebediah, warping his mind, manipulating his beliefs, and leading him on this path. The Tall Man's purpose is to become the Lord of the Dead. He moves from town to town, first becoming the Undertaker, removing the corpses from the graveyards and mortuaries, whilst also killing off the town's population. This would then add to his numbers, his collection. He has dwarf-like creatures he creates from the bodies of the dead, and they serve him in our world. However, he also transports them back to his own dimension. It is thought that he uses these dwarf-like creatures in his world as slave labor, the same way he uses his legion of undead minions known as the Gravers and the Demon Troopers. The dwarfs themselves are simply byproducts of the process by which the Tall Man creates his iconic weapons, the Sentinel Spheres. The process involves compacting the body and placing the brain into a metal casing. The Sentinels themselves are used in his assaults against the living, which is somewhat ironic considering the byproduct. So far, he has not revealed any grand scheme for world conquest. However, as he goes from town to town, building and amassing his army, it is highly likely and more plausible to consider that he is indeed looking to conquer the living entirely. The tactics the Tall Man employs show and reveal that he is intelligent. He is very tactical in his thinking. He plunders small towns which will always have an inbuilt reason for the population to have gone missing. The population, of course, that he steals, murders, and changes into his army. However, of course, that does not prevent the Tall Man being a cold, psychopathic killer, a traveller. He explores worlds, travelling from the living to the dead, and potentially other dimensions. His knowledge of the unknown is vast, and this likely adds credence to the theory that it is not Dr. Jebediah Morningside. Although we don't know for sure what the Tall Man's powers and abilities are, we do know and have seen that he has many superhuman powers. He has strength above a normal human, and even telekinesis. The Tall Man has been seen to lift a grown man with one hand, take away an object from a person's hand with his mind, and of course the Tall Man's signature weapons are the Sentinel Spheres. They are flying, silver, spherical objects. They conceal many weapons inside of them, such as drills, lasers, saws, and more. The spheres, as mentioned, contain the brains of the dead bodies that he is then crushed down into his zombie army. It is shown that the Tall Man has a level of psychic link to his Gravers and Demon Troopers. It is this that he uses to control them with ease. Is the Tall Man and the Phantasm franchise one of your favourites? This is a long requested video and I hope I've done it some justice. However, of course, if you have any further suggestions or suggestions for more topics, then please do leave them down below in the comment section. With regards to the Tall Man himself, what do you believe him to be? Do you believe him to be Dr. Jebediah Morningside or some evil entity when he crossed over that has now inhabited his body? Of course, please do let me know all your thoughts down below in the comment section. And if you did enjoy this video, then please do consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel for more in the future. If you want to interact with me on social media, then check out my Twitter and Instagram at Mr. H Reviews. As always though, I've been Mr. H, and until next time, I will catch you in the comment section.